Well, I'm back. It's Cryptogirl. I was a little bit late for church today, but not too late. So I might be able to make it to work on time tomorrow because work starts a little later than church did. I meant to grab my alarm clock when I was home. I think I found a clock I can use, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to hear it. So I still don't have my phone. I looked around again. When I went to church today, I looked to see if it was there. But when I ran home to grab some more clothes, I grabbed a bag I hadn't used in a while, and guess what I found? It's one of my published books of poems. Aha! See, there's me. Oops. See, about the author. That's me. And then I was looking at some of my videos and I was like, ooh, my hair is getting really light. You can tell I've been spending a lot of time at Beauty Bay. There again yesterday. Anyway, so now I'm not just pulling poetry out of my head. I've actually got it in front of me. And that one song about my mother's daughter I left out a whole portion of it. But if you really want to hear the rest of it, let me know. And ironically, I wrote that poem on Mother's Day that year. I had no idea it was Mother's Day because I never used to celebrate Mother's Day. But I used to put the exact date on my poems. And I remember a couple years later, someone was like, hey, wasn't that Mother's Day? And we actually pulled out the calendars to find out, and it was. And I was just like, I had no idea. Okay, so I'm going to read my poetry to you instead of just counting on my memory. Moment of decision. One way or the other, that's how it's got to be. I say that's just not fair, and then you laugh at me. You say I must make up my mind. It's all in black and white. I tell you all I see is gray. Your demands just are not right. You know I hate to argue, and you know I hate to fight. But if I remain undecided, you disappear from my sight. That was called Moment of Decision. This one's called Go Away. And this one, you might not get it for a minute, but I was trying to let go of my past. I was trying to let go of somebody who had already died, but somebody who hurt me really, really bad. So this was about me trying to let go. And at church, we're always telling people, lay down your burdens at the foot of the cross. The weight rolls off at the foot of the cross. Just give it all to God. And people are like, well, I don't get it. I thought I did. Well, I tried too for a really long time. But when you finally master it really shows in your life. How can I start my life all new when I cannot get over you? 'Tis such a hatred to have for one. Why won't that past leave me alone? It's not just me you're hurting now, but you still exist somehow. In a nightmare, in my mind, inner peace I cannot find. Let it go, set me free. There's more than me, you're now free. And let me see. This one I wrote about my grandma. I gave up on you just because you died, but you wouldn't give up on me even when I lied. You were just a gullible fool who happened to fall for me. I know it wasn't true, but that's what others seem to see. If you were still here, then one would never know what you meant to me or how I loved you so. Oh, and that's called The Fool. Here I am. I'm going backwards. I'm reading it, but I'm still backwards. Okay. And then I moved out of home when I was 17. I ran away, and I stayed at a runaway house. And you had a 2-week max there. My dad came. He picked me up, had all my things into a couple little boxes, and handed me a one-way bus ticket and a check. And he said, good luck. And left. And then I got on my feet and I wrote this poem. It's called Strangers. Dear Dad, I know we need to talk. I'm just not sure when or where or what it is I need to say. I just know we don't see each other as much as we should. Slowly I see us pulling apart, from family to friends to mere acquaintances to nothing. Two strangers under one roof. We both work, but I'm still in school, so our paths rarely cross. Oh, actually this one was written before I left. Yeah. In another year I will leave, but I won't come home to strangers. Oh, here's the one I wrote after that. It's called Adieu. Dear Dad, I told you I was leaving, but I left sooner than I thought I would. Going home felt weird because it did not feel like home. I think I went back for a funeral or something. I won't return again. You were more a stranger than when I left. I do not know you. I doubt I ever did. Maybe one day we will meet again. Maybe this time you'll let me in, as I once opened my heart to you. Until then, adieu. My relationship with my dad's been complicated, mostly from the fact that we don't really know each other, and we've know each other better now, but for a long time, I mean, I think my dad still has very little concept of who I really am. I know my mother doesn't. My mother couldn't even care less. My dad, he's trying to understand me, but anyway, this one was to my grandma again. She influenced a lot of stuff, and some of these were written the year she died, and I was it took me 8 years to get over her death. So, growing up, I never knew, I just didn't understand how my curiosity complicated your generous helping hand. Through the years, I've learned so much, most of it from you, and since you've left, I've been alone to search through all your clues. Reading the proof I've long denied and deliberating on my own makes me cherish our memories of times you helped me grow. I live for you, my loving friend, even though you live no more. You helped me through the toughest years to win my private war. I guess it is time I told you thanks for everything you've done. You had my back for several years, and now the war is won. My war. My personal war that was raging inside of me. And this one I wrote for my mom, but that was before she reached out and attacked me. I was trying to move on, and this one was You've Been Forgiven, because I had forgiven her up to that point. And after she attacked me, I had to go through this whole thing of working through forgiving her again. How many times shall I forgive my brother who sins against me, Master? 70 times 7, or 7 times 70, or whatever it is. Anyway, 7 times 70. Thinking of you is hard for me when I remember what you put me through. The pain and torture of having trusted you. But even still, my pain is invisible to thee. Believe me or not, you've been forgiven. Loving me was something you tried, but it hurt me so much when you lied. It still does. However, yes, you've been forgiven. Forgiveness is something you never taught. The difficult next phase is up to you. We must love again to see it through, but love each other we seem to not. Another chance you will be given if you will promise me to treat me more lovingly, because yes, you've been forgiven. You see, in the Christian walk, there's 2 steps. There's forgiveness, and then there's repentance. And repentance is about changing your behavior, turning away from what you did, and going the right way. And the thing is that we need God's help to do it. Well, that's all for now. I'm running out of time. I'll come back to you with some more. This will be Words Part 2, and I'll have Words Part 3 coming up.